Every Spider-Man started with a bite, but not every bite worked the same way. Some created heroes, some broke the multiverse, some brought a dead man back as something completely different from what he was before. And one of them, the last one on this list, didn't just give Peter Parker new powers. It turned him into something that shouldn't exist. This is every spider bite, and what it actually did to the person it chose. Alchemax Spider, Miles Morales. This spider wasn't supposed to exist in Miles Morales' universe. It came from Earth 42, genetically engineered by Alchemax, transported across dimensions by accident during an experiment gone wrong. One displaced spider, one wrong universe, one bite that should never have happened. And suddenly, the entire Spider-Verse had a problem it didn't know how to handle. Miles got the standard package first: strength, agility, wall crawling, spider sense. Then things got strange. Invisibility appeared. Real adaptive camouflage, not a trick. He simply vanishes mid-fight. Then the Venom Blast. A bioelectric charge firing from his hands, stunning enemies instantly and frying advanced technology on contact. No other Spider-Man developed these naturally, ever. That's exactly why Miguel O'Hara considers Miles a dangerous anomaly. Every Spider-Person follows a pattern, a set of rules the multiverse built around the role. Miles doesn't follow them because the spider that created him was never meant to be there. His entire existence is a multiverse glitch that kept expanding the longer he stayed in it. During his conflicts with the Spider Society, those powers became critical. Camouflage to escape impossible situations. Venom Blast to hit enemies nothing else could touch. Neural reactions so fast he moves like he already knows what's coming. This wasn't just another Spider-Man origin. It was the moment the multiverse started losing control of itself. Oscorp cross-species, Spider, Andrew Garfield. This one wasn't a random accident. It just looked like one. Peter snuck into Oscorp's genetics division following threads connected to his father's research. Inside, spiders bred through cross-species DNA experiments. Dangerous, classified, not meant to be touched. One bit him anyway. The transformation moved faster than anyone expected. And there was a reason. Peter's DNA was uniquely compatible with the Oscorp experiment. His genetic profile matched in ways that shouldn't have been possible without his father's direct involvement. The mutation didn't partially bond. It activated completely. What followed was pure speed, not the strongest Spider-Man, not the most powerful, but during the Times Square sequence against Electro, electric blasts firing across a crowded plaza, civilians scattering in every direction. Peter moved through the chaos like it was running in slow motion for him, calculating, precise, always one step ahead of where the danger was going next. No organic webs either. He built mechanical web shooters himself and engineered the fluid from scratch. His intelligence was always part of the power. Many fans still call this the fastest live-action Spider-Man ever put on screen. Raw speed you genuinely cannot track. That's what this bite created. Original radioactive spider, Peter Parker. Before multiversal anomalies and genetically engineered super spiders, there was just a teenage boy on a school field trip. One radioactive spider, one bite on the hand, that's all it took. The changes hit fast. Perfect eyesight overnight. Muscle mass building without effort. Reflexes that processed danger before his conscious mind could register it. That's spider sense, appearing for the first time. And then the wall crawling. Tiny adhesive structures in his hands and feet making the impossible feel completely natural. No venom blasts, no invisibility, no supernatural elements. Compared to everything that came before and after, this origin looks almost simple, but here's why it matters more than any of them. Every Spider-Person that followed borrowed something from this mutation. The blueprint for an entire multiverse of heroes came from one accident in one laboratory. Peter didn't know it yet. He was too busy winning wrestling matches and enjoying the attention. Then Uncle Ben died. A criminal Peter had refused to stop earlier pulled the trigger, and the bite stopped being about power. It became about responsibility. That shift is why this origin still sits at the foundation of everything. The powers came from the spider. The hero came from that night. Spider-Gwen, Earth 65. In Earth 65, the spider didn't choose Peter Parker. It chose Gwen Stacy. Same Oscorp connection. Same radioactive bite. Completely different aftermath. Gwen developed strength, agility, wall crawling. Everything Peter gained in the original universe. But Peter watched her become extraordinary while he stayed completely ordinary. The jealousy consumed him quietly. Then, all at once, he recreated the experiment himself using dangerous chemicals he wasn't equipped to handle. He became the lizard instead of a hero, and during the fight that followed, he died. Gwen has carried that every single day since. Every swing, every rescue, every victory. The guilt sits underneath all of it permanently. Her fighting style reflects it. She doesn't fight like someone trying to win. She fights like someone making sure nobody else pays the price she already watched someone pay. Speed over strength, precision over force, movement that looks almost like dance and hits like a verdict. In some storylines, a symbiote suit amplifies everything: strength, durability, new abilities pushed further than before. But even without it, Gwen built herself into one of the most technically skilled spider heroes across the entire multiverse. She didn't get the bite because of destiny or DNA compatibility. She just got it, and she carried everything that came with it every single day after. Spider-Man 2099. Miguel O'Hara. The year is 2099. Alchemax controls nearly everything. Miguel O'Hara works inside the machine, a geneticist attempting to recreate the original Spider-Man experiment through pure science. Then he gets addicted to a corporate drug called Rapture. He tries to rewrite his own DNA to break free from the dependency. Someone sabotages the machine mid-process. Instead of restoring his original genetic code, the machine permanently rewrites half of it with spider DNA. What comes out isn't just another Spider-Man, it's the most biologically extreme version ever created. Razor-sharp talons replacing traditional wall crawling, organic webbing, enhanced vision capable of operating in conditions that would blind a normal person completely, and venomous fangs, actual fangs, that inject a paralytic toxin directly into enemies on contact. The strength and durability exceed Peter Parker's original mutation by a significant margin. Where Peter's transformation was relatively balanced, Miguel's feels predatory. Every biological system evolved specifically to be more dangerous than the version before it. This wasn't a bite. It was a complete genetic reconstruction that happened to a man who was simply trying to save himself, and it created the deadliest biology in the entire Spider-Verse. Spider-Man Noir, 1930s. New York. Everything covered so far has a scientific explanation. Spider-Man Noir has none. 1930s New York. Dark streets, crime everywhere. Peter stumbles upon a spider god idol connected to an ancient cult. A supernatural spider emerges and bites him. No laboratory, no radiation, just something ancient choosing someone. The powers feel different from every other version. Raw, uncontrolled, almost an animal. He doesn't swing in with quips. He strikes from shadows, brutal and direct. Most Spider-Men are products of science. Spider-Man Noir is a product of something far older. MCU Spider-Man. Tom Holland, one of the most powerful Spider-Men on screen, has the most mysterious origin of them all. We never see the bite. By the time Tony Stark finds Peter in Queens, he's already been operating for months. Marvel deliberately skipped it, but the results are impossible to ignore. Fairy held together by bare hands. Building collapses survived. Alien weapons withstood. No other Spider-Man combined raw physical power with Stark-level technology at this scale. The spider stayed hidden. What it created didn't. The other. Peter Parker's death and rebirth. Everything above this was a spider choosing someone. This was something else entirely. Morlun didn't come to fight Peter. He came to consume him. The battle left Peter broken, then dead. Actually dead. But inside that death, an entity called the Other made contact. A choice was offered. Peter emerged from a cocoon completely transformed. Organic stingers, enhanced spider sense, night vision, a deeper healing factor, and a direct connection to the spider totem itself. The original bite created Spider-Man. The Other created whatever comes after. That's why nothing else on this list touches it.